What's up? What's happening? What's popping? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another great episode of Symone with the Sports. I'm Symone, bringing you guys daily sports talk. So if you're new here, if you're old here, you haven't already subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you stop what you're doing, leave a comment, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Also, make sure you check out my links down below. The first link is to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel. The second link is to shop the official Symone with the Sports merch collection. Get you the classic tee or the wavy tee. And also, guys, make sure you turn your notification bells on because the videos are coming like boom, 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 boom. And you don't want to miss a single video or a single live stream. So make sure you guys have your notification bells on. But guys, y'all, it's January 6th or 5th. So we're about 1 month officially away from the NBA trade deadline, which is February 10th. So trade talks and discussions and desperate teams are heating up right now. So the biggest thing, of course, the biggest trade shoe to drop across any team is Ben Simmons. Will Ben Simmons get traded this season? Like I said, the Sixers have up until February 10th to trade Ben this season. And right now, our guy Joel Embiid is putting on an MVP campaign again for a consecutive year. Last year, Joel Embiid was putting up MVP numbers. It got us the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. It got us a second round exit because we didn't have the right level of competitors around him. And again, we're looking like that again. Like I said, right now, Joel Embiid in his prime, putting up another MVP season. But we already know if we don't get him some help, if we don't get some stars in Philly, it's going to be another season where we're wasting his peak. So we have up until February the 10th to know what's real and what's ain't. Are we bringing somebody in to help out Embiid, or are we not? Because if I'm Embiid, I mean, these guys are competitors. They play, they fight, but you're gonna lose some. You just naturally lose some of your oomph, when you know you're not really playing for G. Because we know what happened last season when we had Ben Simmons playing at his peak in the regular season. How that then in turn to what it in turned to in the playoffs, and you can point fingers and blame. Yes, our lack of scoring off the bench was a huge fault for us in the playoffs. In the second round, the Hawks were getting so much more production off their bench each and every night, and our bench was just here some games, here some others. But this season, the team took a step down, losing Ben Simmons. So Joel Embiid is putting up these MVP numbers, but is it going to mean G? Like, really, is it really going to mean G? It's like Dame in Portland. Like, you know Dame is going to drop 60, but you know they going to be a first round exit. I mean, it just is what it is. But guys, let's talk about the Sacramento Kings. We talked about them before here and there. We tried to get Buddy Hield in the past. We've talked about De'Aaron Fox in the past before. But right now we're revisiting the Sacramento Kings because the Kings reported yesterday that earlier in the season, the Kings said that De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Haliburton were off the table when it came to trade talks. Now, it was reported yesterday by The Athletic that the Kings said basically nobody is off the table when it comes to their roster in a trade, which is very now interesting for the 76ers. Now, even though they said nobody is off the table when it comes to a trade, I do feel like when it comes to the 76ers specifically, now that's not the case for other teams, but when it comes to Ben Simmons, I don't see a scenario where they're going to trade De'Aaron Fox for Ben Simmons, because the Kings are in a position right now where they're really trying to turn their franchise around quick, obviously this season in their mind, because they've been having another losing season. It's been years since they've made the playoffs, and it seems like they're looking for some help that can help them now this season by February. So a swap, Ben Simmons, De'Aaron Fox swap is not going to move the needle for the Kings. So I don't see a scenario where they trade De'Aaron Fox for Ben Simmons. Now, another team might have a trade value that is worth De'Aaron Fox and might elevate the Kings, but when it comes to the Sixers, we don't. And the only player we have that we can give the Kings for De'Aaron Fox that's going to upgrade them is Joel Embiid. You already know that. You ain't happy. So when we look at the Kings roster, they are very guard heavy, and we've assessed that before. So a scenario that we haven't discussed is Tyrese Haliburton, who is on his rookie deal and who has been playing very well for the Kings. So Tyrese Haliburton is somebody, like I said, he's on his rookie deal. So when we talk about the package, the Kings will have to throw in some additional pieces in addition to Tyrese. But they said earlier in the season that Tyrese was off the table, but now Tyrese is on the table, and that's why we're looking at Tyrese. I know we need some wing creators as well when it comes to the Sixers, but let's look at the scenario where we do actually make a point guard for point guard swap. So Ben Simmons heads over to the Kings, joins their backcourt, obviously instantly improves their defensive production, and Tyrese comes over to... y'all, I just realized we have two Tyrese's point guards. Y'all, I just realized that. So Tyrese will come over to the Sixers. And that is my biggest question. What the heck happens with Tyrese Maxey? Maybe, I don't know, move Tyrese maybe to the... We'll have to figure that G out when that G come. But the thing about Tyrese Haliburton, I'm going to get into his numbers. Tyrese is more of a... He was described more of a pass-first point guard. He's a very good shooter. He is. We're going to get into his numbers. But he was described more as a pass-first, more facilitator, more setting people up than creating for himself. So maybe there's a situation where we have two Tyreses in the backcourt. Maybe move Maxey over to the 2 and Tyrese to the 1. That's a scenario. Or then we can also just look at maybe one of them being the backup, Maxey, and having Tyrese be the main facilitator, because in this scenario, if we're keeping Tobias Harris in this scenario, we know that Tobias looked best when he had a true facilitator at the point guard, i.e. Ben Simmons. So maybe having another facilitator first point guard and Tyrese Haliburton, that might elevate Tobias' game to what it was last season. But let's get into Tyrese's numbers. So Tyrese has been playing alongside De'Aaron Fox for a while. So De'Aaron Fox was out for a 4-game stretch, and Tyrese Haliburton showed what he can do when he's the lead dog in town. So with De'Aaron Fox out for those 4 games, Haliburton averaged 23.5 points per game, 11 assists. So like I said, that was a 4-game stretch without De'Aaron Fox. Now with De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese has been averaging 13 points per game, 7 assists, and a steal while shooting 42% from the 3-point line. So like I said, he's a good facilitator. His off-ball defense is definitely there as well, and he's a reliable shooter. So I can see this situation where we come in instantly, boost up our guard position and add a little bit more facilitator first guard in Tyrese Haliburton. Now, like I said, is that going to turn the Sixers into a championship team? No, that's not going to turn. It's very few players that we can trade Ben Simmons that will turn us to a championship team. And is Tyrese Haliburton somebody that will turn us to a championship team? No, that's not. So the question becomes, why in the heck would we trade for Tyrese Haliburton? And like I'm saying, Tyrese is a young guy. One of my focuses is young guys or guys in their prime. He's instantly been in the league, already been producing right out of college, producing on the NBA level. It might not be this season, but maybe within EMBIID's window, he can grow into a championship star player. And maybe down the line, we'll be able to trade Tobias for somebody who's already instant star power on the team. But needless to say, y'all, we're not getting any value from holding on to Ben Simmons. So the longer we hold on to Ben Simmons for the idea that maybe we'll get James Harden, or the idea that maybe we'll get Dame when it's been told to us 1,000 times that's not happening, or the idea that we will get Bradley Beal, that might not happen. We just holding on to Ben and wasting the Beast prime when there's young go-getters ready to come out and produce. So I do see it both ways. Like, I do see the side where people want to hold on to the hope that, oh, maybe we can get a Dame Lillard, or maybe we can get the other guy y'all want, James Harden. But at some point and it's already happening, Ben's value is diminishing when he's not playing basketball when he's showing that the Sixers' backs are against the wall. So we're not getting anything from holding on to Ben Simmons. So like I was saying, in a situation where we get a Tyrese Haliburton, that contract is not going to match up. So the Kings will have to throw in some more pieces, whether it's Buddy Hield or whether it's Harrison Barnes. Now, Harrison Barnes is somebody that I do like. He's been very productive this season for the Kings. And he's, in my opinion, upgrade over TOBIAS right now, because he's playing way better defense than TOBIAS has been playing. But right now, Barnes is averaging 6.7 points per game and 6 rebounds. Now, Tobias Harris is averaging about between 16 and 18 points per game now, but his efficiency has dropped tremendously. This guy, Harrison Barnes, he's averaging 16 points per game on 41.8% shooting from the 3, whereas Tobias Harris is averaging 16 to 18 points per game, shooting about 30% from 3, so way less efficient. So yeah, that's a scenario where we get Tyrese Haliburton. I don't know if they will give us Buddy Hield and Tyrese. That's giving up 2 guards on their end. But if they can definitely add in Harrison Barnes, then that is an upgrade for us, definitely, when it comes to Tobias Harris' position. And like I said, if we get a true facilitating first guard, Tobias Harris' numbers can go back up to what they were last season. His efficiency could go back up, because we know he was shooting 40-some% from 3 and all that last season. But y'all, this is just a scenario because, like I said, the Kings, it seems like it's a couple desperate teams right now, and it seems like the desperate teams right now are the Sixers, the most desperate. The Kings are now sounding a little desperate. The Hawks are getting desperate, and we know that the Pacers are desperate for a rebuild. So those are the really teams that I've been heavily discussing as of late. But like I said, this is just a scenario. You guys might like it, you might not like it, but it is what it is. You got to start looking out in these streets and seeing what's realistic for Ben Simmons. Because like I said, it's a month until February, and if change don't come, the motivation will leave. Y'all like that? But make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, keep rocking with me. Check out my links down below. Buy me the coffee and shop the Symone with the Sports merch collection. Turn notification bells on, and until I talk to you guys next time. Bye!